dun 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 dun. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to get started fixing yet another MacBook. I have managed to defeat Linux. Yes, indeed. I have a second monitor now that I found at the store that was not going used due to some, how do I put this, downsizing. And this monitor over here now has my chat, my OBS window, and I also figured out how to get VST plugins to work in OBS. It was a bit of a pain in the ass. It's interesting because when you download the LinVST package, even after you compile it and install everything, there's actually a separate package with Debian binaries for AMD64 that has LinVST convert. So I was like pulling my hair out trying to figure out, where is LinVST convert? I have compiled you. I have installed you. I have libvst.so. And then I realized that it actually wasn't there. I had compiled everything but that. So I downloaded another one and then I figured it out. Because nothing in Linux is easy. However, you may notice now that if I am talking low or I am talking loud, I now have a compressor back on again on the live stream so that you don't have to turn up your audio like crazy. Because, yeah, so now I'm able to use the VST plugins that I used to use in Windows. In Linux, some work, some don't. But the ones that I need are the ones that work. So I'm not picky. I'm not picky. I just need the basic shit, and I'm happy. So I'm gonna get started here. One moment, and we're gonna stream a board. I also have a separate chat window now, so I don't have to worry about that overlay shit anymore. So I'm excited. I am excited. We have problems and we have solutions. Problems and solutions. So today we're going to be working on an A1466 that doesn't turn on. I hope we can make this work, and let's figure out what's wrong with it. Also, I got Paul Daniels' power supply software. Everybody give it up for the hero of the stream, Mr. Paul Daniels in Australia. pldaniels.com. Check this shit out, folks. Within days of me changing my operating system, he managed to figure out how to get the convoluted, shitty serial output of a multimeter and a power supply that he has no documentation for and does not own to show up on my screen. That is dedication. That is an awesome dude right there. So if you're happy that we're able to have the amperage that the machine is using and the multimeter on the screen, rather than having me read it to you or have it in the camera shot like we used to many years ago, thank Mr. Paul Daniels for his contributions. We also have Flex Board View working again over here. All thanks to the generosity and care and the loving programming of our friend of the stream, Mr. Paul Daniels. I am too cheap to get a monitor, John DeComo, but there's someone that I had to let go a while back, and he still had a second monitor at his desk, because most of the board repair people here have at least 1 or 2 monitors that are 4K, so I stole it. I stole it. I am too cheap to buy another monitor. I'm not too cheap to buy a monitor for my employees, but I am too cheap to buy a monitor for myself. So, what's wrong with this MacBook? Well, you know, one way to find out, right? We got to get started working on it. We got to get started, see what's going on with it. So, I unplugged the battery, as I always do, because the battery being plugged in is going to screw with my ability to tell how much amperage the board is taking by itself. I want a profile of the board. I do not need a profile of the entire MacBook. So, let's plug it in without the battery. Power supply. 108 milliamps. Okay, what does 108 milliamps usually use? Did you let him go just to get his monitor? No, but no, I did not let him go just to get his monitor. That's kind of fucked up. That would be kind of fucked up. Okay, let's see if anybody in the chat remembers what is usually represented or meant by 100 milliamps and no fan spin. Let's see if anybody knows. You know, if you don't know, that is actually my fault, because I said I was going to add all the stuff in my brain to the wiki, which means that I haven't added all the stuff in my brain to the wiki, which means I haven't done my job. If I sent my POS Mac to you to work on, can I request a video of its repair like this one? It may or may not happen, because that's like, we got 19 people working here, and also I do videos kind of as I please, so if you wanted me to work on it, you'd probably be waiting for a while, because, you know, again, I am a manager, I am a business administrator, I am working on that 501c3 for repair, I'm trying to get that shit pushed through. You know, when I get audited, I have to deal with that shit. So there's a good chance that, like, if you demand that I do a video, you could be waiting for a fairly long time. But, you know, I will try to accommodate you. I'll try to accommodate you. I just can't promise anything, because when I promise anything, I'll wind up disappointing. Oh, sometimes people get really disappointed when I do their repair video and I make 3 measurements in the beginning and I say, yep, not even worth taking the screws out of this one. This is dead. Holy hell, a few years back, I had somebody so pissed. Like, he goes through all this shit to fix all these machines, and on mine he didn't do anything. But yeah, I'm like, serious. There are certain machines where I just see, you know, 24 milliamps, no corrosion. I make like three measurements, and I go, fuck this. And then, like, they lose their mind. But yeah, hopefully that's not the case with yours. Hopefully yours is one that is actually fixable, so that when I do a video, you're not incredibly mad with me. But we're very close to getting this out of the machine. Let's see. I miss seeing Paul on stream. He's a fun dude. You know, I'm going to try to get Paul on stream from a little bit more often now. We've had to catch up on a lot of shit, and I'm working on getting Paul to learn the data recovery stuff. There is a resistor and chip that control the intake of power. See, you're trying to do what I used to do when I was in high school and I didn't know the answer to a question on a test, which is give some generalized answer that's technically not wrong, but it's so not specific that it's completely useless. And my hat's off to you for doing what I used to do in high school. But no, that doesn't count. That's not a fucking answer. I appreciate it, but that ain't an answer. Let's see if anybody else has an idea. Does anybody else in the chat have an idea? All right. Well, what 100 milliamps and no power typically means on this is corrosion by the all-sys power good circuit, keeping all-sys power good from going high even when the machine itself is technically healthy. Unfortunately, now we're getting something. What? I literally just brushed off dust. I just brushed off dust. What the? Seriously? Son of a. All right, let's see if I. All I did was move dust. Wow. Folks. I fixed it. Seriously? All I did is move dust. You've got to be shitting me. There is dust everywhere. Alright, well, I was wrong. I was going to guess all-sys power good. In reality, this just needs a run through with some compressed air and ultrasonic cleaning. I don't see any corrosion on here. This is... What the Are you serious? Let's see if there's anything else corroded inside the machine. Well, this is a boring one. This is kind of freaking boring. Kidding me? Plasma, that's unlikely. And even you honestly hope that that's not the case, because if that's the case, you're not going to fix it. Because you like, what are you going to get an extra $120,000 X-ray machine to find out where the short is? Oh, what's missing? Okay, here we go. Trackpad. Bada bing. So this is a new one. I've never had this before. I've never had this problem. I've never experienced this. So check it out. Trackpad being bad typically keeps the SMC from turning on, not this. What do you guys see? What do you see? Eh? Trackpad. Trackpad, and you can see it more if you take a look at the trackpad cable itself. See that? Yeah, it's kind of nasty. So this needs a trackpad and a trackpad cable. Trackpad cable, I never knew that, honestly. I never knew that 100 milliamps is something that could come from a trackpad cable. That's an interesting issue. It is important to unplug everything from the machine so that you know if you have a parts problem or a board problem. Here we have a parts problem, not a board problem. But that is indeed interesting that 100 milliamps is something that happens. It'll take when the trackpad is bad. Was not expecting that at all. This would need a trackpad, maybe some blow off of the board, and otherwise should be fixable. So time for me to leave a note. And I'll be right back. Be right back. BRB. BBL, 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 BBL. Bill. Excuse me. Sending an estimate. Those MacBooks, is it Rustmon? Rustmon? Rustman? Rossman? Rustmon? Okay, that one's a little bit on the boring side. Let's grab one that's more fun. Be right back. HT.
Phoebe.
John, that sounds like something fun. I think Erica would kill me if I did that, but that's part of what would make it fun. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to get started fixing yet another dead MacBook. Here we have an A1466 that doesn't power on. As you'll be able to see, the screen no longer flickers because I have defeated Linux. That's right, folks. I have gotten another monitor here that I stole from another ex-employee's desk, and now I don't have to put my chat windows on top of my Flex board view windows anymore because I have a second monitor. Beautiful. We're going to fix this MacBook. We're going to defeat this MacBook the same way that we defeated Linux and its many bugs. I've outsmarted Linux. Allergies, Mofries, it's annoying. Allergies. Allergies. Hate allergies. My martial arts instructor gets owned this season. Like, terrible. You can see his eyes are all red and everything, and sniffling, and just awful. All right, so what we always seek to do here is see how much power the board is using when the battery is not plugged in. Remember, if the battery is plugged in, we're not going to see what the board is using. We're going to see what the board plus the battery is using. And since the battery doesn't take a static amount of amperage, it's constantly changing depending on how full the battery is, we're not going to get a proper reading. I want to see what the board is taking because it's going to give me information on how to proceed. And this one already turns on. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, really? Really? Oh, come on. I want to do a stream. Give me something to stream. Give me content. Give me some content here. I'd like content. All right. So it doesn't chime. I suppose that's... oh, God. I hate these. Doesn't chime. So this is going to be a waste of time, you'll see. 99% chance waste of time. Screen is coming on. Let's see. Is backlight coming on? Backlight is coming on. Okay, screen and backlight is coming on. It's probably going to be one of those Catalina updates with the BIOS bullshit. Oh, never mind. It turns on. All right. Oh, never mind. Broken screen. Well, that's boring as hell. So I'll grab another one. I'm not replacing the screen. One moment. Fuck you, I said 1 moment. Bastard. All right, come in. How can I help you? Oh, what's up? No worries. What's up?
I'm looking for someone's enclosure.
What enclosure?
For machines will drive you.
Oh yeah, I keep them all here in case they get salty. Did Hi tell them that we're gonna get rid of this?
No, there's no notes on that, but he wants it back.
Okay, tell every single person that ever drops a drive here off, your enclosure is getting tossed in the garbage.
Okay.
Immediately. Because they get very, very salty if you don't tell them that. They're just, like, I can't keep all these because it just takes up too much space. But make sure Hi knows that. All right. Let's see. What? No. Okay. Yeah, broken screen. Boring. All right, we're going to grab another one because this is kind of boring. How come you don't give back the enclosures? Because I don't want to keep them. Like, look at like this is a fucking mess, man. Look at this. Look at this shit. Yeah, I got him out of here. So look at this. I don't want to keep this shit. You know, like I could literally fill up the old store with the amount of enclosures we get in a week. Like I take the enclosure. Like I don't want to have the enclosure follow around the drive. You know, because I'm going to take the drive. It's the same thing with keeping the case. So when a customer says, "I want to leave a case with the computer," no. I'm not keeping your case and then having to follow your case and your fucking computer around the store. Fuck that. Same thing with the phones. If you have a case on your phone, take that shit off before you send it in. I'm not keeping track of your case separately from your phone. I'm not keeping track of your charger separately from your phone. Like, no. That shit's gone. Hell no. Like, it's like, I mean, just see where this can go. So let's say someone mails something in their original Apple box. You got to keep track of the box. They mail it with their original charger. You got to keep track of the charger. They mail the computer with a case. You got to keep track of the case. So now you got to keep track of where their charger is, where their box is, where their case is, and where their computer is. Fucking fuck that. No. Your computer, your phone, your device, that's it. One person, one ticket, one device. Not your device with your case, with your box, with your chick. No. So what I do is I tell people, you're here to get data recovery, right? Because this drive is dead, which means this enclosure has no value. This is useless. So we're going to take this enclosure. We're going to work on the drive. The moment we take this enclosure apart, it's gone. People are always okay with this. Like, there's no human being on earth that's not okay with this. They're not okay with it if they don't hear it up front, because then they assume that you stole it, which is hysterical, because these enclosures are like, this piece of shit right here, this is worth $5. When it's new, this thing is worth $5. When it's used, this thing is worth like 50 cents, if even 50 cents. That's a USB 2 enclosure from 2007. That's worth 50 cents. So if you tell them up front, we're going to work on your drive, and if we cannot recover your data, we will give you back your drive, but this enclosure we're not keeping. We're throwing this away because it's useless to us. They're always 100% of the time okay with it. If you don't tell them that up front, they get salty. So I still save these fucking enclosures over here until my cabinet is full. So I save the enclosures until it's full, just in case someone happens to forget to tell the customer after a year and a half of working here that we're throwing away their enclosure. So in case they get, because they'll get salty. They'll think like that we're trying to steal it. They're like, my business model, the way that I pay 19 people is not by fixing stuff, it's by stealing enclosures and selling them on the internet. People are funny like that. So, but yes, I keep them in here, but then I throw them away. I just don't, I don't need the fucking rubbish. I don't need the crap. You know, there's 850 tickets in this store. I'm not keeping track of their box, then their charger, then their enclosure. No. Bad. It's like when Mr. Clinton tries to scratch my speaker, you just flick him in the nose. When like a customer ignores the part in the site that says don't send your box or if you want it back and all that, you just no. Just like, flick him on the nose. Just no. Bad Clinton. Bad Clinton. All right. Anyway. The thing is, there's really no, there's no benefit to keeping all that shit. It's just a liability. So if you just make the rule up front, don't do that, then it eliminates problems. So you just flick him in the nose with your middle finger, the same way I flick Mr. Clinton the cat anytime he tries to scratch my speakers. He knows better, because I have scratching posts next to each of my speakers. So he knows better, but he does it because he's a little prick. You know, he's cute. That's why he gets away with it. Mike Clinton is adorable. He's the cutest little Clinton. But, you know, he's a prick. It's not much around that. He's kind of a prick. All right. Age 14. This goes back in... '15, age 14. Wait. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that you were able to fix your friend's Nintendo Switch. Hopefully you paid for it. Let's see. H14. And above it. Wait, that's H14. And this one was in H15. So then H15, I'm going to take that and put it in H14. Kevin put an error that needs a screen repair in your queue. I suppose you consented to that.
What? No.
Take it up with Kevin.
Is that the one that said needs screen cable or something?
No, it says no power, but it has a broken screen and turns on. Kevin, you tricked an L. You gave him a machine that said that no power, but it has a broken screen and it turns on.
There's 6 of them that came in. 4 of them are all 1708s.
Little kitty. He set you up. For some reason, that looks cleaner. I don't know if it's just I missed it for 2 days.
No, I keep it clean after.
There's less in it.
There's less drives in here.
Hi didn't tell someone we're throwing away their enclosure.
Oh my god.
Luckily, I keep it just in case they fuck up in the front and they get salty and they cry about their.
I do the same actually.
But like, I don't want to keep all of them because that's just a mess. I know, like one of them was it has a fucking USB 2 port on it. Like USB 2. What? And it doesn't even. It's not even one of those that powers the drive. It's like, or it can power a 3.5 inch. Or it's a 2.5 inch. That shit's worth 8 cents. My God. So. Okay. Oh, John, I don't ask them to take the hard drive out of the enclosure. I tell them when they bring it in that I'm destroying it. Indeed, no video. You get no video. You haven't paid enough money, so you don't get any video. That's the way this works. You have to join the OnlyFans to get video. Hey, everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to get started working on yet another dead MacBook. Let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with it and make it work again. This is an A1708 MacBook. Make this thing humble. Humble. Tux the Penguin's asking to get banned. Looks like he's asking for me to ban him. Yeah, that's what it looks like it's going to happen over here. Oh, I do read him, KP. It's just, I don't know what the hell you guys are on most of the time. I don't know what you guys are on. Also, you guys have weird-ass names in Twitch that are just, like, fundamentally not pronounceable. Like, what's a P? Like, you can't have a K and then a P. I mean, if you proportional gain, fine, that can have KP, but you can't start a name with K and P. That's just insanity. Can't expect people to read that. Even if you gave me money, I wouldn't know how to read that name. I made a soldering iron. Can you test it out for me? You made a soldering iron, Sonny? I'll try it out. I'll try it out. King Thigh Bout. I guess your name is somewhat pronounceable. Oh no, someone stole my pry tool. Did someone steal my good pry tool? No! No, Bird, I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think they're that petty or malicious. Like, I don't like Apple, but I'm not going to just, throw them under the bus at every single turn. Just turns that matter. All right, so here we have what looks like we ever bring Mr. Clinton to the store? If you did, will you do it again? I brought him to the store because he had to go to the vet. But he gets really scared when you take him to the store, so I don't think that's a good idea. He gets really, really scared. And he's an asshole, so sometimes he kind of, he kind of should be really, really scared because he does a lot of asshole shit as a cat. Especially with how he bullies the other cat. He is like he's a real prick in many ways, but I don't like to see him scared. That makes me sad. This is 20 volts, 600 milliamps. It said doesn't power, but it turns on. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to fix anything today. This isn't even a FlexGate one because I can open it and close it. Kevin's trolling the fuck out of me because he said these have no power and they already turn on. Kevin, you mother... 3 6. I don't think today is this. Oh, never mind. Battery. Needs a battery. Battery is expanding. Okay, I'm gonna just find ones that other people have estimated. I can't trust Kevin's estimates here. Kevin, big troll. Highly trolling. Let's see. I'll put this one back in slot H14. I really did want to do a border pair today, but I don't. Kevin has successfully trolled me out of. Well, folks, I give up. I tried to do a border pair stream today, but the world ain't having it. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. It's good hanging out with you all. I'll see.